Hi, I'm James Robinson. I manage money for a living, and this is my stock pick of the week. Today we're going to talk about the company Expeditors International of Washington, symbol EXPD. When I recommend a company to you, I typically will make 5 videos on the company. One, which is this video, which is an overview of the company. It's just basically the fundamentals of what the company is and what is it that has attracted me to the company in the first place. Then I will look at the company's operations, which is how efficient a job the company does at delivering goods and services to their clients. I follow that up with a balance sheet, and the balance sheet is really looking at the company's debt position and cash position. I think most people don't pay much attention to that, but I do, because when things go south, or when a company has a lot of debt and interest rates go up, which is happening now, you want to be aware of that. So I spend some time on the balance sheet. Then I look at the company's dividends, which is a measure of how safe the dividends are, how large they are, how likely they are to grow, basically an overview of dividends. And then finally, I look at wealth creation. And wealth creation is what kind of job the management is doing, pulling the levers at their disposal to create as much wealth as possible for the shareholders. So those are the 5 videos that I make. And today, this is the first video on the company Expeditors. Long story short, Expeditors is effectively a broker for shipping products. So Expeditors International of Washington provides logistical services in the Americas, North Asia, South Asia, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and India. They offer air freight services such as air freight consolidation and forwarding. They offer ocean freight and ocean services, including ocean freight consolidation, direct ocean forwarding, and order management. They do custom brokerage, intercontinental ground transportation and delivery and warehousing and distribution services. They do customs clearances, purchase order management, vendor consolidation, time definite transportation services, temperature control transit. They do cargo insurance, specialized cargo monitoring and tracking, and other supply chain solutions. It also provides optimization, trade compliance consulting, cargo security, and solutions. In addition to that, they act as air freight consolidator or as an agent for the airline which carries the shipment. The company provides ancillary services that include preparation of shipping and customs documentation, packing, crating, insurance services, negotiation of letters of credit, and the preparation of documentation to comply with local export laws. Its customers include retailing and wholesaling, electronic, technology, and industrial manufacturing companies. Expeditors International of Washington was incorporated in 1979 and is headquartered in Seattle, Washington. So what does all that mean? Well, the way I look at this is they do sort of the same job that I used to do in commercial real estate. I looked at myself, even though I was a broker, my real job was to be the real estate department for companies that didn't have a real estate department, and provide them any services they might need, and to provide them the expertise to find people who had related services. So while I didn't do architectural, obviously I knew architects that come in and do a space plan. And that's really what these guys do for shipping. They are a very large company, and they provide shipping and transportation solutions to companies, especially companies that maybe don't have the time, expertise, or desire to manage those processes themselves. And obviously, this is a situation where scale matters. The more customers you have, the more products you have that need to be shipped, the more negotiating leverage you have. And so that's fundamentally what this business model is. As of October 1, 2022, the company has a market cap of $14.45 billion. It has revenues of $18.98 billion, profits of $1.54 billion. The PE ratio is 9.75, so below 10. The company's yield is 1.52. Obviously, I like companies that have a little higher yield than that, but I'm willing to accept it in this case. The company's total debt is $502 million. So again, with an $18 billion or $15 billion market cap, they have less than 10% of that in debt. They have almost 3% of that in debt, so very little debt to speak of. They are a member of the S&P 500, and the company has 19,700 employees. One thing I want to talk about is that the company's revenues seem very high relative to the profits. That's because oftentimes they're paying the shipping costs, they're receiving shipping costs and then paying the shipping cost to the shipper. And so it's really sort of a trap pass-through. We talked about the same thing when we looked at the company paychecks. As we talk about in all my videos, the very first step I do when looking at a company is I grade the company in 29 categories on a scale of 1 to 4, 4 being the best, 1 being the worst. And you can see here that this company has done very, very well. It's interesting, the gross margin of this company are only a 1. And as you know, I start my search when looking at companies with gross margins. And I want you to notice here that I don't just stop when I don't see gross margins I don't like. I continue to look at the company and I look past that, but it's the first thing I look at. And again, when you look at gross margins for this company, they're very, very low, but that's because so much of their margins are pass-through expenses, where they collect money from party A and they pay it to party B for the shipping, and they keep the difference. And the difference doesn't have to be very much, because it's really just a transfer fee. But when you look at the other categories of this company, they're very, very solid. Nothing else in the ones, a couple things in the twos, but nothing major. The company has a total score of 98, which makes it the 10th highest company I've looked at. I've currently got about 900 companies I'm tracking, which puts in the top 1.2% of companies. So fantastic company, one of the best companies I've looked at. Buying one of the best companies I looked at 10 times earnings. That's a spectacular buy, especially as we start looking at this company's wealth creation and we look at its operations. I think you're going to find a company that you really, really like. So hopefully you'll tune in and watch those other videos. Like everybody on YouTube, I'm trying to grow my channel, so I would love it if you'd subscribe or like. Additionally, if you would tell me where you are watching from in the world, I would appreciate that. I like to keep track of where my followers are. For more information, more up-to-date information on the things I'm doing, you can find that at Robinson Stocks. That's on Twitter. And another point that I want to make is, if you're making money off my investment advice, consider letting me manage some of your money. If you have an interest in that, drop it down in the comments below, and I'll reach out to you. But if you've got 15 stocks that you own, maybe I can do better than your 15th best stock. And so give me a chance. So again, I'm James Robinson. This is my stock pick of the week, and we'll be posting the other 4 videos over the next few days. Thank you very much for your time.